Hello YouTube, it's Tom Driver and I'm back here to talk about another iteration of Drive Fitness. So this iteration is actually our beta test and it actually spanned over the course of about a year while we were pushing different updates and testing it on our users. So for this version, I actually had help from my co-founder Matthew Jamazos and Blake Pastrana. Now, Blake Pastrana is actually no longer with the company, but I still wanted to mention that he worked on this version a lot to give him credit. He's actually working on a different application right now, and I'm really happy and excited for that. And I plan on having him on the podcast at some point to tell us all about it and touch a little bit more on his involvement with Drive. So for this version, there was two major differences, but I'm going to try to include everything that we did. So the two major differences were, one, we added a backend. So beforehand, I didn't have a backend. I just was making calls to my Firebase database right from the front end code. And so Blake and Matt, they helped me design a Spring Boot Java backend. And then they migrated my database over to Amazon, and we started using a SQL database. Firebase is similar to MongoDB, and SQL databases are arranged much better, and they have a much easier time creating relationships between all the different tables. I thought about having Matt on this video to go into more detail about the backend that they created, but I think I'm going to let him explain the new backend that he's created for the newest version of Drive. And in that video, I think he's going to have the chance to kind of detail what we did during this version and kind of talk about the differences and how he made improvements. So for now, all I'm going to say is that when I first launched with no backend and just the Firebase database, I had a lot of problems with users not actually being able to connect to their information. The data just wasn't getting sent unless they had basically perfect internet connection, and almost a third of my users actually weren't able to view their data. So that was a huge problem, and we immediately needed to build this Java backend in order to make everything run more smoothly. It's just kind of hard to see on a video how much better it ran, but it was a huge improvement to the application. Other than that, we made a lot of changes to the UI. Specifically, Blake added in a lot of interesting and cool images. A girl named Cueva created us a new logo. Matt created a new security token for authentication that basically prevented people from hacking into other accounts. I added in a new visualization that I call the gains table that kind of shows you your different muscle groups and how much gains you have for each one. We also added a discover page, which it included the same feature of searching for new friends, but it also included searching for exercises. So if there was an exercise that someone else created in the database, instead of manually typing that in yourself, you could search for that exercise and add it. You also had the ability now to visit other users' pages, and you could look into their exercises and see what their records are and even add those exercises to your list as well. We also added in a new notification system that pops up with a notification whenever a new friend adds you. We also added in cardio exercises and flexibility exercises, and then we also added in certain weight training exercises where you only do reps and no weight. And then we also added in like cardio exercises where you just do time and not distance. Okay, I'm going to go over a couple screenshots to show you all the new UI updates we made. So now when you first log into the app, you're going to get prompted with this welcome screen. It basically just goes over the application, but it looks pretty professional with some good photos. So you can swipe through those first couple pages until you reach the one on the right, which is the new login page. Once you log in, this is what our new home screen looked like. So we added an image for every single muscle group that you have. And when you click into that, you get the list of just the exercises in that muscle group. On the right, you'll see the new leaderboard, just with like a new image. Inside the exercise looked about the same. I also added a gains table to the profile page, which shows a breakdown of all your different muscle groups and the amount of gains or points that you've gotten for each of those muscle groups. I also added one of these in each of the muscle group categories that showed all of the different exercises and the amount of gains you've gotten for each exercise in each muscle group category. And then the last screenshot I wanted to show you is from our website. We put together a pretty nice website during this time period to attract new beta testers, and yeah, I thought this screenshot looked pretty good. One of the best things about this version is that we actually had users. So we probably had about 20 beta test users that they gave us great feedback throughout the process, and we took note and we'll be adding that to the next version. Now you guys are all caught up. So Matt and I have actually scrapped this version, and we are currently working on what will be the official Drive Fitness launch. I think it's going to come out sometime around early 2021, shooting for New Year's 2021. And in the meantime, I wanted to do something to kind of mark it ahead of time. So between now and then, I've started a Drive Fitness podcast in which I'll be interviewing people who are experts in either health or fitness or software, hardware, entrepreneurship, maybe just marketing or YouTube, a whole bunch of different people, right? And yeah, I hope you guys tune into the podcast. I'm going to be using this channel to be posting podcast episodes from here on out. And then once we get close to the official launch, I'll start posting, tutorial videos on how that new version works. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this whole, prequel to Drive Fitness. And yeah, have a great day.